Welcome to episode number 8 of EBI News for You. It is Tuesday, February 25th, 2025. 10 months till Christmas, Donnie. You better start shopping for my Christmas present.
I already know what I'm going to get you.
What, something to keep my mouth shut?
Oh, now there's a thought.
I know, right?
I wasn't going to go there, but...
all the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Donnie Lowe are purely for entertainment purposes. Say your stuff, Don, because I don't have to share anything. I can just sit here and
that's right. So it's like, you're not working behind the scenes to do what I get
a free day.
I know. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. If you to watch, I guess the best experience again is to view the podcast on our EBI News for You YouTube channel. We always pull up the funny clips or serious photos or funny photos, but even to see Eddie with his dynamics of his whatever he does, eating Pop-Tarts, drinking coffee, negotiation skills. So you got to witness that on YouTube. But
this weekend I saw it's funny you say that, Don, because this weekend I saw a really weird flavor and I looked at it. I was like, no, I'm not even trying it. Because we haven't done a Pop-Tart episode in quite a while.
We'll have to do one. We'll have to do one. But please like, share, subscribe, download from our YouTube channel. And we are on 43 different podcast depositories. That's where you go to listen to the podcast. So we're on Spotify, Apple Music, Odyssey, iHeartRadio. He's laughing. I don't know what. We're on Rumble. And in any event, like, share, and subscribe from there as well. You can hit the fan mail button, and you can send us questions that, whether it's insurance questions that you might want answered, or general questions, or even ideas for topics for one of our future podcasts. So do that.
I'm laughing, Don. You know why I'm laughing? Because I didn't even prompt him to do it, but on yesterday's show, Coach Donis was like, What'd you say, Donnie? Did you say depositories?
Or suppositories?
Yeah, I know. I didn't even prompt him to do it.
I know. That was great.
That's what was even funnier.
Also, I just have to finish up here. So we always do our shows. We'll have on TikTok Live. So you can watch it on TikTok Live. You can kind of see the behind the scenes things that we're doing pre-show, during the show, and then post-production.
So wait a second, Don. So all the people that are watching us right now on TikTok Live get to see this show before anybody else?
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
Wow. It's like time travel, Don.
Yeah.
Because they're still on Monday and we're on Tuesday. That's amazing.
It's kind of like Spaceballs. That's
like the second time you brought up Spaceballs.
Because it's a hilarious movie. So just know that we do appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us. And we're very grateful for you. So thank you very much. And let's take it away, Eddie.
Yes, we're going to start off because Donnie won't stop shutting up about his boyfriend, Rob Ray. So he sent me this, and I'm like, what the heck? So let's go to a year ago first, and let me see if I can get the volume working on this. And I'm sorry about his vulgar language, but that's Rob Ray for you, Donnie's buddy.
So Rob Ray, former NHL star, especially he played most of his career for the Buffalo Sabres, and he has become a broadcaster. And he typically sits in between the two player benches during the game. All right, here we go. So if you could see it there, Rob Ray got smacked, right?
And this was a year ago.
This was a year ago, about a year ago. He got smacked,
and
right between the eyes.
Rob Ray was, if you're not
with the puck,
if you're not a hockey fan, he was known as an enforcer. And then this one day ago, this happened.
Yes, on Saturday. Are you going to put the sound on for that one or no?
I did put the sound on. Figures, right?
Yeah, I can't hear it. So I was actually at that game.
Kind of good because he said the F bomb pretty loud.
Yeah, so Rob Ray got hit again with a puck standing between the benches. And what a goose egg he got. There's other pictures of him with a goose egg. But so they're broadcasting the game. He's live on the air, and you hear, "Oh, F." and the announcer just kept, "Oh, I think Rob just got hit with the puck again." So that's the second time he got hit with the puck.
Yeah.
Are you
funny,
able to
Don?
pull
I
up
can hear the volume. Which one?
Oh,
yeah. No, I remember we had it was bad audio and video on that one, so I'm not going to be able to pull up that one where with talking to Lindy Ruff one, right?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just Don, talk about that one briefly.
Go ahead.
So back in, what was it, 2006, I think? Buffalo Sabres at home against the Ottawa Senators. And, I mean, a massive brawl took place because one of the Ottawa Senators took a cheap shot elbow to the head of Chris Drury. Chris Neal was the player. And the players they just started fighting. The next shift, the goalies got involved. It was just wild. So you see Lindy Ruff yelling across Rob Ray to the coach of the Senators that it was a cheap shot. He elbowed him to the head, and Brian Murray, the coach of the Senators, yelling back, and they're swearing back and forth at each other. And Rob Ray is just standing in between them. You can see him. He puts his hand over the microphone so that none of the profanities could be heard on TV live. It was just hilarious. So he's been involved in a number of incidents. Yeah, just wild.
Are we done talking about your man crush, Don? Are we done talking about your man crush? Can we put this to bed? Okay.
Put it to bed.
So what I want to talk about is we had a lot of interest this weekend about a subject that we talked about on last Tuesday's episode before, we were taken down by the government. Maybe.
Maybe.
And where do we start with this, Don? I got to stop sharing a second because I think we're a little bit stuck.
Okay.
That's the thing. Pulling up all these videos is really hard on our bandwidth. So bear with me, everybody.
We're working on that. We're working on that.
Yeah, like I said, this will be the last week that we have technical difficulties like this. So
keep our fingers crossed.
Tell me when you can see that, Don. So last week we started talking about Fort Knox. And
it just came up.
Is the gold still there? Nobody knows. And as soon as we started talking about it, what happened, Don?
All of a sudden, everything just died on us. All of our technology. So I don't know. So I don't know.
I loved that James Bond movie when I was a kid. Goldfinger with Odd Job and that.
Goldfinger, yeah. Yes.
Goldfinger, da, da, da. But I know they talked about them live streaming the tour of it. Is that still happening, Don?
I don't know.
I would think started security, they wouldn't let them do it.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. And when they started talking about it, it reminded me. Do you remember when Geraldo Rivera found like a
Al Capone's vault?
Yeah, I would say I couldn't remember if it was a cave, if it was his vault, and they went in for the first time.
I don't know if it was. I was young. It was like 2 hours or 3 hours long, and there was nothing in there.
There was nothing there. But in this case, if there's nothing there, now that's a story.
Oh. And your buddy has already mentioned that. Like we're gonna have a problem if there's no gold in there. You know, and a lot of the conspiracy theorists out there, it's really interesting because okay, we're looking at the gold. Is it gold? Ooh. Are you gonna test that gold to make sure it's gold? Or is it just lead? You know, gold, or maybe just gold plated, you know. And it's amazing that it sounds so absurd to talk about something like this, but I gotta be honest, folks, they haven't gone in Fort Knox for an inventory since 1974.
Yeah,
which it just blows me away. I don't understand why that was allowed to happen, you know. So why almost do inventory every couple times a year? You know, when you go into like you'll go into like a grocery store or a drugstore and you'll see those folks doing inventory. You know, it just blows me away. I don't get it.
Do you know why it was 1974? What happened?
No, what happened?
That's when
odd job there with his bowler, and was he throwing it around at James Bond?
Yeah, exactly. No, it's when Nixon took the United States, and the Federal Reserve took the United States off of the gold standard, to back the currency. Yeah. So CPAC was going on, I think Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Going on for quite a bit.
Yeah.
What? You didn't see him with his chainsaw?
I know, wasn't that wild? But anyway, President Trump was there on Saturday. He may have been the last speaker to conclude that conference, and he started talking about that, about going in with Elon and just looking at, you know, are there 4,584 tons of gold there or not?
Something crazy like that, yeah.
Yeah, and then Trump says, would you like to go too? Would you like to join us? You know, she kind of, you know, obviously joking, but yeah.
I could see them doing it. There's the technology to do that, you know?
Yeah.
So, like I said, we try to do a little mix of news and pop culture. And I don't know if you remember me talking about a movie I told you to watch. I don't know if you actually had the opportunity to watch it yet. Do you remember me telling you about this movie? I'm going to pull it up for you.
Oh, Conclave.
It did not do well, you know, didn't make a lot of money. It's basically about the Catholic Church, what happens when a pope passes away. And like I said, I'm not going to tell you what it is, Don, but that was the craziest ending I ever saw in my life, you know, because I've said before, I was in seminary for 2 years. So, you know, I'm a spiritual guy. You know, I love the history of the church, good and bad, you know. And I'm watching this, and yeah, okay, I kind of know what's going to happen and all this. And it was like, what? The hardest left turn I ever seen in a movie.
Yeah, I have not seen that, but I also
you need to watch it. But it was the SAG Awards winner last night.
Oh, was it really?
And usually whoever wins this award wins the Oscar.
That's very interesting. I know that there was a lot of pushback on this movie because it really tears into the Roman Catholic Church, and
humanizes it too, Don. They're just guys.
Yeah, and I guess people are saying it's, you know, a lot of the information in this movie is extremely false. So I don't know, because I have not seen it, so I cannot tell you firsthand.
It was very well done. John Lithgow was in it. He was a jerk. He played a really good part. You could see the people on the bottom, like Isabella Rossellini. She actually played a nun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I don't want to screw it up, but Ralph Fiennes, he played like the secretary to the Pope.
Ah, okay.
You know, and I knew a lot of the little things, like the Pope. Every Pope is given a ring, and first thing they do, if they believe that the Pope passed away, they have like a silver hammer that they tap him on the head 3 times. You know, Holy Father, are you here? Holy Father, are you here? and then they take the ring off and they smash it.
Oh wow, I did not know that.
Yeah. So that was I kind of knew where that was going, but like I said, going into the politics of who's going to be the next pope, you know, backroom deals and things like that. It was very political, the movie. And what's the two things you're not supposed to talk about, Don? Religion and politics, and this had both. And it won the SAG Awards for Best Movie. So,
that's interesting. That's interesting that you brought that up, especially the condition of the current Pope Francis in the hospital. Latest news is he has severe kidney failure potentially going on there. They were talking about
the other Pope's still alive too, Don.
No, Pope Benedict did pass.
He did pass? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. And
it'll be very interesting to see what happens. And truth is crazier than fiction sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Like I said, I'm not promoting this movie, but whether you're Catholic, Jew, whatever religion you are, it's interesting. You know, and like I said, when you think you know where it's going, oh, hold on, baby, because that left hand comes fat. That left turn comes fast and hard.
Wow, that's
interesting.
That
All right, so let's get a little bit more into music. Yeah, let's talk about music. Look at this, Don. I found this morning when we were getting ready for the show. Watch Must College Dropout Doji goons caught on camera. Oh, they look so tough. People are losing their mind. You know, is it kind of like ageism? Because these are all young guys. You know, they can't be that smart. Oh, these guys are brilliant. You know, and you know, I don't want to PO anybody, but if you run a business, you bring an outside firm to go over your books, to find things, you know, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, during Trump's first presidency, he wanted to run the country like a business.
Yeah. And
there was such blowback. And the worst thing, do you know that they have a printer person for the president? Do you even hear about this?
A printer person?
They want to keep him off of social media. So whatever going on in the world or anything that's going on in the meeting he's a part of, they print up something and hand him a piece of paper.
Oh, that's interesting.
I couldn't believe it, Don.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I mean, what do you think about all this, Don?
Well, to your point, like with this particular article that you pulled up, you know, you look at, all right, Steve Jobs, who, you know, with Steve Wozniak formed Apple, he never finished his college career. Bill Gates, you know, obviously of Microsoft, and, you know, say what you want about what he's doing now and, you know, or in the past 20 years or whatever, but when he started Microsoft, you know, he dropped out of Harvard College or Harvard University, right? And so there are people that had great, you know, brilliant minds, and it just wasn't good for them in college. You know, so to use that, and they were pretty young too when they started their companies. You know, same with Jeff Bezos. I think throughout history, the great things that happened were done from people that were in their late teens to mid 20s, early to 30ish, early 30s. So you're right. They're probably very smart, and you can't knock them just because they're 22 years old or 23 or 19. You know.
Well, Don, what I want to talk about now, there was a Nike sighting. He's doing good. Doctor hollered at him. And he wanted me to watch this documentary. It was about the comedian Tom Green. Okay. I never watched any of his I almost said a bad word. I never watched a lot of his shizzy when I was younger. But I'm like, I don't want to watch this, you know? Yeah. And so I had some time on my hands, and I'm like, you know what? If Ike's telling me it's going to be good, he's the one that told me to watch, to give Yellowstone another shot, and then 1923, and I've enjoyed both of those shows. So I watched this, and it showed his career from when he was in college and a teenager all the way up. And it was amazing that his parents did not kill him. The stuff that he did to his parents and skits.
Really?
Just, I mean, it was insane, you know? And like the one thing, they went on vacation and him and his buddy painted the house plaid, Don.
Oh my God.
And the parents come home and, you know, the dad's like, you got 2 days. Get it fixed. And by the way, give me your keys. That car's mine now. I'm selling it to Joe Blow down the street. I didn't realize he was Canadian, and you know, I forgot that he was married to Drew Barrymore. But
oh, that's right.
His show was not canceled, Don. Just as he was getting very popular, it got to the point where they could not produce the show in New York any longer because the crowds would follow them anywhere, because they did like Man on the Street stuff, you know. Like,
I do remember.
Hey, Donnie, what are you doing over there? You know, hey, the guy with the yellow tie, what are you doing? And stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so they had to move it to California, but he would just terrorize his parents. So they did the Plaid House, and then while his father was away, so he didn't use his car until like Monday morning, he on the hood of the car painted a mural of a man and a woman. He was eating something and it wasn't lunch. Let's just leave it at that.
Oh my God.
And he's like, you got to be kidding me. And so he goes, screw this, I'm taking the bus. So he follows his father to the bus stop. He goes, come on, I'll give you a ride. And everybody at the bus stop's like dying laughing. And he's like, oh, okay, this is pretty funny, you know. and then the one last thing I'm going to talk about is that his parents loved the movie The Godfather, you know, with the horse's head.
Oh, yeah.
This crazy son of a gun got a cow's head and threw it into the parents' bed.
Oh, my God.
What do you think his mother was mad about?
Staining the sheets, probably.
Yes. Don't you dare get blood on my comforter. I'd have killed him. I'd have killed him dead.
Oh, I know.
So, like I was saying, it wasn't canceled. He got testicular cancer.
Oh,
and
really?
It actually traveled to the lymph nodes.
Oh, wow.
So it was disgusting, Don. They showed like the other people on his show, like in the lab playing with his testicles that they removed. And it's just bizarro stuff, you know.
That is bizarre stuff.
So if it wasn't for him, they would have never produced that show Jackass, because MTV had to stop the show because he was so sick. It was never canceled. And that's how Jackass started. So when he started getting better, he was with Drew Barrymore for quite a while, and they didn't really go into it, but they both had demons, they said. So that's all they said. I'm going to leave it like that too. Yeah. But he thought it would be a great idea to build a studio in his living room and hook it up to the internet.
Oh my God.
And that way he could go live whenever he wanted. He was a podcaster before there was such a thing.
Oh, do you know about what time frame? What years?
90s.
Oh, wow.
90s. And he had one of his comedian friends on one day, and he was like, this is the greatest thing. I got to figure out how to do this. And you want to know who that is, Don?
Who is that?
Joe Rogan.
Really?
If it wasn't for Tom Green, there would have been no Joe Rogan podcast. And he says that straight out.
Wow.
You know, and then, you know, he thought he was going to get canceled from all the crazy stuff he does.
Yeah.
There was a gentleman that loved him so much when he got ill and they brought in guest host. Tom Green guest hosted the David Letterman show.
Really?
Because Letterman just loved this kid. A lot of people did. Like, I never watched the whole movie that he produced called Freddie Got Fingered.
I never even heard of it.
And it was a bomb. It was horrible. But if you go back and rewatch this now, which I'm going to have to do, they said everything he's doing now is what you see on the internet.
Wow.
Or I should say everything he was doing then
that is what you see now.
Right. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
So he's Canadian, originally from Canada, you said. Joe Rogan, is American, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But they met in California?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Because they used to do the Comedy Store, and they met him at, remember when the Yuck Yucks were around in Canada, Don?
Yeah, yeah.
That's how they met, because Tom Green was lucky enough that the owner of the Yuck Yucks in Toronto liked the kid so much that he let him come in and work under a weird license so that he could do stand-up.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. He saw something in him that a lot of people didn't see, and he started up at public access television. You know, I had to laugh because when he was doing his pilot to, try to get a deal on the Canadian network, the CBC, his first guest was Joe Flaherty.
Oh, really?
From SCTV, yeah. From the guy on the golf course in Happy Gilmore, jackass. Yeah, that's Joe Flaherty. Yeah. And I'm watching this, and like Joe Flaherty was playing along with all the nonsense. And the next thing you know, there's his mom and dad in bed with Joe Flaherty in the middle. It's like, I actually have to go back and do a little research and find out what the hell is going on with this dude. I mean, he was mentioned on MTV. He was huge on MTV. A lot of the artists, like Eminem, he talks about him in one of his songs, for Christ's sakes.
Oh, really? That's wild. That's wild. So when you first mentioned Tom Green, I'm like, who's Tom Green? But then when I saw the picture, I said, oh, yeah.
You knew who he was.
Yeah.
He actually sold his house in California and moved back to the Toronto area.
So he can watch Eyewitness News. Buffalo's burning down again.
He's 6 blocks away from his mom and dad.
That's pretty cool.
And he didn't go into his relationship now, but he's with a nice girl, a normal girl that, not in show business or anything like that. And they kind of bookend it with, he went on the Drew Barrymore show, and it was the first time they saw each other in like 18 years. And it was it was a nice ending to his documentary. But like I said, I still don't like Ike, but he gives me good recommendations on stuff to watch.
How can you not like especially for that? Come on.
So this morning, like on my cheater, I got to see the first episode of 123 before him, or 1923 before him. The one with Harrison Ford. It's about the Dutton family. It's a Yellowstone prequel.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, wait till you see this. And he goes, don't tell me. And so me being the wise guy I go, oh, wait till you see the scene. So Harrison Ford plays the Red Hulk in the new Captain America movie. I go, hey. In this episode, Harrison Ford turns into the Red Hulk and does some nasty stuff to cows. I cleaned it up, but in his text, I did, bam.
Oh,
so I saw this today. I go, hey, what'd you think about 1920? Well, he has to change the app on his phone to hear people because he's so freaking deaf.
Oh,
goes,
okay.
I didn't know you had a show yesterday, Eddie. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm talking about 1923, you goof. So I'm gonna
leave Mike alone.
I know, right? I'm gonna end the show with what we were just talking about, because seeing is believing. Don, you want to read that for everybody, or is it too small for you?
It's really too small.
Natalie J. Harp, born 1991, is an American former television personality who works as an aide for President Donald Trump. She is frequently known as the human printer, for accompanying Trump throughout the day to provide him with articles she finds on the internet. I don't know what this girl looks like. I was waiting to hit images until, this is her. She don't look familiar, does she?
No, but I did see her. There was I forgot which, like around election time, or where he was talking, like he was like watching the DNC when they were going to nominate Kamala Harris to run for president. And he was watching it, and they were showing how he was posting on X in live time, where he would say something, and she was typing it in. You know, so that's
at least they're being smart about it. I mean, I thought they're just gonna take the freaking guy's phone away. That's what I'd have done.
Yeah.
Like, stop typing.
Yeah, but he'll make these comments like on the fly, and she'll just post them.
Wouldn't that be funny though? Hey, what's your daughter do? Oh, she's super successful. She's the human printer for President Trump. That's what they're calling her.
That's so funny though.
Well, listen, Don, we jammed in a lot of information in this show, but I look at the clock on the wall, and we're at the end of another show.
Yes.
And we're going to end it like we always do. If you like working with people that are just like you, we're the people to see. EddieBuffaloInsurance@gmail.com. And you can reach us on our hotline, which is
903-662-1564. And I'll repeat it. 903-662-1564. I'm not looking at any notes. Nothing.
So tune in tomorrow, our big 200th episode for Insurance Questions Podcast.
I'm excited.
I'm still working on your guest. I haven't heard back from them to confirm, so we might push that a day, Don, because I want to make sure it's a big show for 200.
Okay.
So, like we say, life's worth living. What do you got to keep on doing, Donnie?
You got to keep on fighting. Keep on fighting.
Get the TikTok people. Get the YouTube people. Get Donnie low. Give you a left, Don. I hit harder with my left. So I want to make sure I knock you out, so you look like you got hit by a hockey puck like your buddy Rob Ray.
Yeah, so now I know that if your left is your stronger one, I know when to duck, pull away, and start running.
Yes, you do, Don. So we're out of here. Do your thing, Don.
All right, ciao, everybody.
You and your ciao. I'm going to say peace out. And yes, I do have to look for the button, Don, because my cursor's in all these different screens now.
I keep moving around you.
Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.